Let's try that again. Go ahead, Emery.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm the Sports Kid. This is my dad, and we're here to bring you the latest on Detroit sports and more.
That's right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We're still trying to figure out the system. We got a brand new soundboard, mics, headphones, the whole deal. We're still working through some bugs, so bear with us a little bit as we get this rolled out to you. But we're excited. We're doing a lot at once. We got a lot of ideas here, and it's going to be good. We're excited for it. So a couple things that I wanted to share with you. Number one, right now we are just live here on Facebook, my personal Facebook page. We have to wait. There's a delay period on Facebook for pages to go live. So we met our follower goal, I think was of 100, and then we have to wait 60 days before we can go live on the Facebook page. But we are live here on our Facebook, my personal Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. So check us out there as well. Moving forward, we will be stripping the audio out from this live broadcast and posting that up to Spotify and Apple. So be on the lookout for that too. But right now, we plan to go live once a week, probably Mondays, Tuesdays. So stay tuned for that. Should be around 7 p.m. is kind of our goal. Maybe 6:30, maybe 7:30. We're still playing with that a little bit, but 7:30 kind of is the goal right now. And some other big news, what we are looking forward to as well. We had a lot of interest last week in bringing on guests. So a lot of people reached out asking, if we're going to have guests or take phone calls. Yes, we do plan on doing that. Give us a little bit of time to, again, learn how to use the board, play around a little bit with the phone calls, figuring out how to work that. So we've done our research. I think next week we will be taking on phone calls. So stay tuned with that. And another big thing is teaming up with other podcasts. So we already have some interest with another podcast that we plan to partner up with next week, a local sports, Detroit sports podcast. We're excited for that opportunity as well. I think we're going to try to meet up with them as soon as possibly this coming Sunday. So a lot of exciting news there. Think one other big thing I think I'm going to let Emery talk about, but that's all that I've got. Emery, what do you want to talk about tonight?
So, we've got a great show for you today. We'll be covering my personal AFC and NFC championship predictions. We're going to see how that went. And we got big news with the Lions' new coaching staff and other things. And we'll also be going on about the topic of, is the NFL rigged?
Yes, a lot of chatter on that this past week. Is the NFL rigged? We're excited to talk about that. Emery's got his opinions of it, and so excited to share that with you as well. We are going to be trying to keep up with live comments as well this week. We apologize last week that there was a lot of interaction on the live feed, and we have our platform here to kind of follow that, and nothing popped up. So I do have my phone here. I will be checking in there. So if you guys have questions, comments, feel free to post them in the live feed, and we will do our best to follow those as they come in as well. So, but other than that, Emery, what do you want to do now?
So, and some other exciting news is today our favorite realtor, T. Schaefer or Tom Schaefer, gave us some packs, and we'll probably be ripping those a bit later in the show. So, but first, let's get into some recent scores and updates. The Red Wings they were down 2 goals last night against the Kings. They scored 5 goals unanswered to give them the win over the Kings. Their next game is on Thursday against the Edmonton Oilers.
What's their record right now? I know they've been on a hot streak.
Yeah, they're 24, 21, and 5. They're 12, 4, and 1 since Todd McLennan took over as head coach. So since they've been pretty hot since they brought him in. And yesterday the Pistons struggled in all 4 quarters against the Cavaliers, losing 91-110. Currently, they're sitting at a score of 520. They're 23-23. They're sitting 8th in the Eastern Conference, sitting just behind the Magic and the Heat. So, can they make a run for the playoffs? And they also play tomorrow in Indiana against the Pacers. Now we're going to be talking about the Lions. They have officially signed offensive and defensive coordinators. Who are they and what are they going to do to help the team? So, and MSU basketball. They play tonight against the unranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. They're 17-2, seventh in the AP, top 25 on a 12-game win streak. The Spartans have been absolutely hot. So,
That's right.
after that, now I can't wait. Let's start ripping some packs.
Yeah, Emery could not wait. T-Shafe, thank you for dropping these off. If you guys need a good realtor in the Metro Detroit area, but also all across Michigan, check out the Schaefer team. Great people there. He dropped off a whole box
Of wax.
of vintage wax for us to open, and I don't know,
Like 3 packs?
maybe we'll each open 3 packs. Go ahead, just you don't need to take those. Grab any random. There's
I'm going to take a pro set from 1990 NFL.
okay. I have the action-packed football 24 karat gold leaf cards. What year is this from? I don't even know.
But we'll be ripping that.
Let's get to ripping. Let's see. Let's not waste any time here. T-Shapes knows that we are big into to cards and man, vintage wrapping here is gold-plated wrapping.
I got the Super Bowl XV Trophy Superdome New Orleans card. Win a trip to the Pro Bowl and NFL memorabilia. Wonder if that's still.
Why don't you show the go ahead and show the camera what you pull.
So we have a Clay Matthews of the Browns. Irv Pankey of the Rams, I think. Andre Tippett, the linebacker for the Patriots. Leslie O'Neal for the Chargers. I'm not even going to try to pronounce him.
You can just show the hot cards if you want. Just read through them. Any big bangers? We're looking for Barry Sanders. Maybe some Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I haven't.
Bunch of people we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Alonzo Spellman. These are 1992 action pack. These are nice cards actually. They're really thick.
Jeez. Like a credit card.
Ashley Ambrose, Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys, Herschel
cool.
Walker, Tony Saka, and Mike Singletary. Oh, and Junior Seau. These are some nice cards.
Yeah.
Very flashy and shiny. All right, let's grab a couple more. Go ahead.
I'm gonna grab another one of those action packs.
All right, here we go. 1990 player photo cards. Fleer. Very nice.
Come on, we want Joe Montana's.
Yeah, we are looking for just
Barry's,
absolute heat.
Emmett Smith.
Oh, those are nice cards there.
Dennis. Is Bruce Smith like a big name? Might have heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Well, that answers the question.
All right. Another Mike Singletary here. Another Troy Aikman. Big names back in the early 90s. And then a bunch of guys I have never heard of.
Yeah, same with
Fleer 1990, Troy Aikman. I was 3 years old when these came out.
These are like, I don't know how much they're worth, but like those are like thick cards, kind of.
Yeah, I like those ones. Let's see who you got. Anybody?
Anybody who you got?
No. These cards are very nice, very thick.
What on earth is
Rod Woodson of the Steelers. And then I like this guy's name, Harry Hamilton. Harry Hamilton of the Buccaneers.
Jeez.
Rod Woodson isn't bad, though. Very nice. What'd you pull?
I have this behemoth of a pack.
Giant wax pack.
There's 34 cards in this. And we want Barry Sanders.
Yeah, we want somebody good. I'm pulling the Action Packed Presents here. Exclusive Sports Collectors Hotline.
Oh, I got a Lions. Chris Spielman.
Oh, nice. We got the Madden pack, 1990. $1.99 back in 1990. Put that up next to the mic. Hear the ripping action. Oh, I got a Lion right out of the gate. Right out of the gate here. Oh, we got heat in this pack. Heat on it.
Save it for last.
Save that one for last.
I got an Andre Reed 1,000-yard club card. Dion.
Yeah, Dion, wow. Ernest Givings. This is the all Madden team. Ernest Givings, Eric Howard, Dan Hampton, Jeff Zimmerman,
Dan Marino.
Matt Barr, and none other than the GOAT, the all-time great running back, the greatest running back of all time, 1990 all Madden team, number 20 from your Detroit Lions, Barry Sanders. Look at that. That is awesome. That's who we were looking for, Barry Sanders.
What do I do with these?
Just pitch them. Just throw them.
I
Throw them over your
wasn't
head.
done.
Oh, you're not done? Yeah, there's a lot of them here.
Jim
Dan Marino.
Arnold from the Lions.
This is a Deion Sanders rookie card.
Is it actually?
Yeah. Coach Prime rookie. Top super rookie.
Hit of the day, folks.
No, our Barry card is way cooler than Deion Sanders.
Joe Montana.
You get a Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Nice.
So these are probably the hit cards. I have Joe Montana, a Jim Arnold from the Lions. He's not really a hit, but like those top cards over there are probably.
That's a nice little pack right there. Joe Montana, the 1989 record breaker. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But doesn't top the Barry.
No, we like our Barry. We might, maybe tonight we've got a lot here. If we're feeling frisky, maybe we'll open another one in a little bit, but let's carry on.
And also stay tuned to next week because for the Super Bowl, we might be going live during halftime and ripping a box of football cards, probably.
Yeah, stay tuned. Coming live during the Super Bowl will be another pack rip, case rip live. All right, can you guys hear us okay? Emery, make sure you're speaking to the microphone. Audio levels should be good, but if you're having trouble, let us know. But all right. What is next? I think we're going to get into prediction time. We're going to have fun with this soundboard, guys. So stay tuned. A lot of sweet features on this thing. Like prediction time. Are you ready for the predictions? Give us an update, Emery. Last week, you were very bold, very confident on your predictions. You made two predictions for the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. Let's start with the NFC Championship. We already gave a quick brief update after the game, but let's give it to them here on the podcast.
So, My NFC Championship prediction was that the Commanders were going to beat the Eagles. And I was wrong. Very, very much so wrong. They ended up losing 55 to 23. That was the highest scoring AFC or NFC Championship game ever. And yeah, and Saquon rushed for like, or had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. The, the Eagles were just playing an overall better game than Jay Daniels and the Commanders. So yeah, I did not do very good on that prediction. Um,
Yeah, we have a noise, a little sound for that. When Emery misses a prediction, what do? We hit this. Here we go. Hold on. Wait for it. Hold on. Sorry. Emery does not like hearing that sound,
no, I do not.
but I like it. All right. Anything else you want to talk about in the NFC game?
Um, not like I feel like Jay Daniels and the Commanders against the Lions, they just looked so perfect and they were playing great, but it was just not the same team it looked like out there.
Yeah, I said after the game, the Commanders didn't look held together, especially the second half. They kind of fell apart. I mean, they pulled off the fake punt in play at the beginning of the game, early on in the game, which everybody was excited about. That kind of lit some fire, um, but they just couldn't pull it off. And so my question to Emery was that the same Commanders that played against the Lions the week before?
No, I mean I don't think so at all. I mean it could have been unless like the Eagles were just like the Commanders weren't expecting the Eagles like that.
So yeah, because if the Commanders lost that bad to the Eagles, and the Lions lost kind of equally as bad to the Commanders, were the Lions kind of overrated going into the playoffs
Um,
in the number one spot?
I probably say no, but you could argue with yes. But the Lions, they were not underrated, I don't think, or overrated going into the playoffs because they were 15-2. A lot of teams don't do that. And they were playing really, really good all season. So I don't think that they were overrated. I just think that the Lions didn't expect the Commanders to play
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of issues with that game, obviously. Do you think the Lions could have beat the Eagles?
Seeing what happened with the Commanders, if no.
No, simply no. So I agree. I don't think the Lions would have been able to play much better.
Especially without their defense like that. Because like if they had their defense, that would have been a whole completely different story. Like they would have smoked the Commanders if they had their defense, and they probably would have smoked the Eagles too. But they didn't have their defense. So
Yeah, I guess let me ask you, do you think the Lions got exposed? Or do you just think it was a bad game?
yeah, they got I mean I'd probably say exposed because like it just shows how bad their defense really was against a good team kinda.
Yeah. That's fair. All right. Let's move on. What was your prediction on the AFC Championship game and what was the outcome? Let's talk about it.
So for the AFC championship game, I chose the Chiefs because they've just been so good all season. And like I said in that prediction video, they just have more experience in the playoffs than the Bills do, and I feel like they wanted to make it to the Super Bowl just a bit more than the Bills because they wanted to get a three-peat or want to get a three-peat.
So you predicted the Chiefs to win. Who won?
The Chiefs.
All right. So for now, we're going to use um, this sound when Emery gets one right. So he got that one right. We could also do this sound. So you went 1 for 2, pretty good with the predictions. Anything else we want to talk about? I think we're going to get into some more details on these games here a little bit later, but we do want to shout out. We have a buddy named Scott, lives down in Florida. He's a big Bills fan, and Emery made that prediction the Chiefs were going to win.
He was not happy.
Scott was not happy with that prediction, but just so you know, Emery is a logical prediction maker. So just because he predicts the team to win doesn't necessarily mean that's who he wants to win. So he was actually pulling for who?
The Bills. Because my thing is I think that Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time because he just is, kind of. And he did something but he did something that nobody ever did, winning that many Super Bowls and having that, like, being that good and stuff. And there were, like, good players, but he played, like, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and, like, Drew Brees and stuff like that. And he was just still that much better. So I think that he's probably the greatest of all time. But because Mahomes has been so good recently and stuff, with his crazy stacked Chiefs team, that's the reason why I didn't want him to win, because I knew if they win, they would go on to the Super Bowl, and they're probably gonna win. And then the thing is, Mahomes is gonna have a three-peat and be the first person ever to do it, and then everybody's gonna say that he's the greatest of all time, which is not true.
Yeah, that is. I don't know. We wanted Josh Allen to win. What it boiled down to it because
Even though we really don't like the Bills, we just didn't want Mahomes to win.
that's kind of what it came down to. I think was that, somebody said actually our pastor Corey mentioned this week that it's the Super Bowl that nobody wanted, the Chiefs versus the Eagles.
So true, rematch from 2 years ago.
Yeah. So I mentioned on his post, yeah, it's similar to the national championship game. You had Ohio State versus Notre Dame, two of the most hated teams in the country. But just real quick side note, we are seeing all the comments come through on YouTube. Mel in Florida, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. And we do see your comments, but I'm not seeing any comments on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, tuning in, commenting, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing anything. But if you want to, you can always shoot me a text and go from there with that. So shoot me a text or tune in on YouTube. We are seeing the YouTube feed, so you can go ahead and do that.
This is a reminder. Jammy time.
All right, Amazon or Alexa's tuning in as well. So
she's a big fan.
She is a giant fan, one of our number one fans. So, all right, we're moving past our predictions. What do we have next to talk about? We're just going to roll right into what?
The Super Bowl, I'd say.
Talk about the Super Bowl. All right, Emery had posed one big question. Is the NFL rigged? So we're not going to talk about that just yet, though.
It'll probably be our next topic.
Yeah, we're going to get to that a little bit later. And again, we're going to be talking about Detroit Lions a little bit later too. But we're talking about the championships, the AFC, NFC. Let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. What are your thoughts?
So we're going to save all predictions for next week, but judging on how we probably say it, we'll probably know who our prediction is. But yeah, so it's the Chiefs and the Eagles, and one of the two of the hottest teams in the NFL all season. Saquon Barkley has been really good with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts really good, and their wide receiver core is just so good. And they've been really good. But the Chiefs have also been really, really good. Mahomes, he hasn't had his best season, but still, he's been able to get it to this point. and
What was their record through the regular season? Do you know?
15-2.
Okay, so 2 losses for the Chiefs. How many for the Eagles?
I think they were 14-3. So like just behind the Lions.
Yeah, what were they? Were they number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you mentioned receivers, wide receivers for the Eagles. Who do they have?
So they have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, and they're both really, really good. Um, I think Devontae Smith, I'm pretty sure he's number 6. He's super duper fast and can run down the field a lot quicker than other people can. And AJ Brown, he's had the experience in the NFL and has been really good his whole career. And so, yeah, they've been really good. And the wide receiver core helps them. But they also have the stud running back and a really good quarterback, too. So, in total, it just comes down to a really good team.
Yeah, and aside from Taylor Swift and the refs, who are the big names on the Chiefs?
Mahomes.
Like-
Mahomes is a really big name because, like, everybody just has kind of liked him since he was a rookie because he was just such a good rookie, even though we don't really like him. But
We like Mahomes. We
the,
can't hate the guy for being good, right?
yeah, but he's not our favorite. We'll say that.
Yeah, that's better.
It's like saying who's better, Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith.
Barry Sanders. That's an easy.
Yeah. So, and then Travis Kelce is also a big name on the Chiefs because he's just been a veteran for so long in the NFL. And then I think the other, like Xavier Worthy, he's been a really good rookie and has been really fast. And of course, D Hop, because they got him like midway through the season and he's been really good on their team. Then on defense, they have like Chris Jones and stuff, and he's really good.
Yeah, so I know we said we're not going to do predictions, but next week we will be officially giving out our predictions for the Super Bowl. But what way are you leaning right now? Let's talk about that.
So I really, really do not know. But there's a team that I'm leaning to win. And wait, can I say who it is?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Eagles.
So you're leaning towards the Eagles right now.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, out of I think all of their games were within a touchdown, right?
Yeah, they never had a blowout. The only blowout that they had was when they got smoked.
So that's one thing to show is that they play very tight games, close games.
And like the Eagles are a completely different like standard and everything. And they like the blowout against the Commanders, like that's never been seen before in like that kind of game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were pulling for the rookie Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, because I would like to see a rookie like him make it to the Super Bowl and do something that no one's done before.
Yeah, but we got the Chiefs. Is it 3 in a row that they're trying to get, or
Yeah,
the
3 in a row.
3 in a row? Um, you know, it's are th- here's another question for you: are they a dynasty? Have the Chiefs become a true dynasty, like Tom Brady and the Patriots?
Yeah. Um, because they've just like they've won a lot in the like past like 5 years, and Mahomes even made it to the Super Bowl and lost to Brady, so that shows that Brady's better. Um, but yeah, they're kind of a dynasty because like every team that can get a three-peat is gonna be a dynasty, kinda. Like the Patriots, they almost had it. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys almost got it, and the Niners almost got a three-peat. But none of them ever done it. Either they missed the playoffs, lost in the Super Bowl, or lost in the playoffs. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I was just trying to see if Facebook feed was working. I think it's working, but struggling a little bit. But yeah, I think we will see what happens. My thing right now, I think the Chiefs are great. Um, definitely a great team. But I'm gonna hold off calling them a dynasty. I think I want to see them win again this year.
I don't want to see them win.
I don't want necessarily to see them win,
But
but I
you're
think
gonna.
before we call them a dynasty, that's
You
just
have
my
to.
opinion. I don't know. Sure people disagree with that, but um, yeah, that's I don't know what the big thing Emery mentioned earlier with the Super Bowl. We're going to be coming live right back here,
Ripping packs.
ripping packs during halftime. Our halftime show is way better than what the NFL produces. So we've been doing this last couple years. Uh, so we plan on doing it again this year. I will be buying some sort of box of football cards. Not sure what yet. We might be chasing some downtowns or some. What are the other ones?
Kabooms.
Kabooms.
One of one.
We want some 101 kabooms.
Rookie ticket autos.
Yeah. Jared Goff's. Something big. I don't know. But yeah, we will be back here during the Super Bowl going live. Stay tuned for that. But that's our Super Bowl talk for now. Anything else I guess you want to talk about with the Super Bowl?
Not really, but kind of going into our next topic. Is the NFL rigged?
Yeah, we got to use the voice for that. Here we go.
Is the NFL rigged?
That's a great question. A lot of people have been talking about it, this past week. And what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it is semi rigged. It's rigged for certain teams, kind of. One of them being the Chiefs. Probably the biggest one being the Chiefs. Because I forget what the refs' names are, but every single time that they've refed their games, they have never lost in the playoffs.
There's refs that are tied into this. So you think it's only rigged for certain teams to win?
Kinda, yeah, I'd say. Like, there's like certain teams that they want to win and they make it to where they win. There's like also teams that they make it to where they lose.
Okay, all right. There's a lot of people have been saying that the NFL is rigged against the Lions, which I would say the same old Lions. I don't consider our current Lions the SOL. I think it's a new era, a new team. But there was a lot of arguments when they were SOL Lions that it was very easy to argue that it was rigged against them.
Just because they were so bad.
Yeah, they were just bad, and so it made things look worse. I don't know. And it is kind of easy to see that it could be rigged for the Chiefs. Um, and I'm gonna try to pull up here. I can do a little screen share stuff we're gonna try out to show some of the stuff from this last week's game against the Bills that a lot of people are talking about.
The first thing I saw when they lost, I said, "Yep, it's rigged."
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. So I want to put a different perspective here, though, for a second before we just say it's rigged. Do you think that there's a chance that it's not necessarily rigged, but that certain teams have certain types of favoritism in a way? Like, think of Mahomes, because it's Mahomes, we're going to protect him more. The refs are going to kind of lean his way because he's like a superstar. Um, is
Yeah.
there that, and maybe that's what we call being rigged? Or do you think, as other people have mentioned, that there's a playbook or a script before
Yeah.
the season?
That is a bit too much, I'd say. I don't think that there's a script, but there is favored teams for sure, I'd say. Like, one could be like, well, of course, the Chiefs, but like the Niners or the Cowboys could also be like favored to win. Like last year's game, the one before the playoffs, when it was the Lions and the Cowboys, that was absolutely rigged. And that just kind of shows how much it's rigged. But I feel like it's in the refs' hands and they can kind of do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, so we got a comment here, Mel from Florida. She says it's all about the money, and it's very easy to argue that, right? Because if you think about this, what teams being into the Super Bowl or what are the hot teams right now that are making the most amount of money? You would want to favor them a bit more, right? To bring in even more money. The Super Bowls, or not Super Bowl, the NFL is a business, right? So they're
Yes.
in the business of making money, so the more
Like the
money.
owners, they need a way to make money because they've spent a lot on the team. So there's like,
So to that point, that's a great point. So you got the commissioners of the NFL, the people, the higher ups of the NFL, they make their money. But what about the owners? So like obviously, again, yeah, like you said, the owners are in business, each team to make money. Does who's the owner for the Lions?
what a like
It's my mind is slipping right now. I gotta Google search this. I know it, and I can't. Sheila. I was gonna say Sheila. Sheila Ford Hamp. Doesn't she want to make money too? So wouldn't it be in her interest
yes.
to somehow figure out a way to pay off the refs? If it was truly a script, and if I'm the owner and I see the script come out, or even one of the players, and I see this script comes out that says that I'm gonna lose,
They're not gonna like that.
they're not gonna like that. But I'm gonna try sharing my screen here. And we're gonna look at some of this stuff because these are the hot topics right now. So you guys should see
Both screens.
our camera and the screen here. So one of the big talking points about whether or not it's scripted is the color of the Super Bowl logo. And so this was a good image here I pulled up right from the NFL. Little old playoff bracket. Oh, is it? No, it's not. It's current. So it shows the teams that lost. But it shows the Eagles making their way, the Chiefs making their way. And we've got this beautiful logo here in the middle. We see some
Very
very distinct colors
Yeah.
there for the Chiefs. And we have some
red and yellow.
Yeah, is it yellow or is it green? It looks kind of green.
Maybe like lime kinda.
Yeah, it's kind of lime greenish.
You could consider that green. And you know who's green? The Eagles. You know who's red? The Chiefs.
Correct. So this year, and I was talking to somebody earlier today about this too, about the Super Bowl logo. And last year, the theory was it was supposed to be the Ravens, if you remember, because there was a lot of purple in the logo.
Oh yeah.
So initially, everybody's like, "Well, the Ravens are in. There's purple there."
Well, we like the Ravens. That's a team that we do like.
Yeah, we wanted the Ravens, but we wanted our Lions, but then we were kind of pulling for the Ravens. But then the thought was, well, the Ravens didn't make the Super Bowl last year, so
Was that right?
well, maybe they changed the colors intentionally to try to throw us off. But I don't know. What's your thoughts? Do you think the logo has anything to do with it?
Yeah. I mean, it depends because like I forget like what percentage, but there's a certain percentage of the logos being the actual teams that are in it. And that's just weird. And if so, it was written in the stars that the Lions were not going to be in the Super Bowl.
If only we would have known that. I made the comment. I don't think it was on here, but somewhere when people are talking about rigging, I'm like, man, I wish they would rig it for the Lions.
Yeah, you've
Right?
said that a lot.
Yeah, if we're gonna rig it, shoot. I wanna. When are they gonna rig it for the Lions? I'm all in on it. All right, so you think the logo does kind of have something? There's definitely
There's a reason.
it's coincidental at the very least, right? I mean,
Very much so.
very much so. All right, so let's move past that. Let's look at so this is from Newsbreak, a little write up, talking about a lot of stuff. And so I was kind of looking at this. there's too many coincidences. Like you can't have that many coincidences in a single game, and so yeah, when you start to look at these different coincidences, man, that happened, this
Kansas
happened.
City's most valuable player.
Yeah, Kansas City's most valuable player, this guy, number one. But there is this play here, and you guys should be able to see it. Let's see if I go. Okay, that did work. This is in the fourth quarter.
When they were trying to do a tush push to
Pretty
the
close
first down.
game. Yeah, 4th and inches.
Do we know how close inches is, by the way? You could take a step and you'd already be in the first down.
Yeah, we're near the end of the game. Bills are driving the ball down the field, and this play happens. Let's play this. So what just happened here?
They just got plowed. Well, I mean, it was a first. Like, look at him. He's over the line.
It looks like it. I don't know if the feed is choppy on your end or not. Let me try doing it this way. It kind of looked a little choppy.
He's over the line.
That might be better.
Yeah, he's over the line.
Yeah, I think this view I don't think shows it the best, but
You'd probably need like a pylon kind of thing.
from
But
what I've seen
fine.
from other angles is that ball was
Over.
a third of the way over. And you had one of the refs was saying it was a first down, the other guy was saying it wasn't.
The other guy was saying it wasn't before the play even started, so.
He was saying it's no turnover before it even started. So let me ask you this. With all the technology out there, do you think that because for some reason they didn't, I don't know if they did review it, but it got overturned. We've watched hockey games. Like there's ways for them to track the puck across the ice, different things like that. Do you think that there should be something in football, some digital chip or something that they put in the football that allows them to really see the location on the field?
Yeah, I would agree that, but I would also say that, like, maybe they could put, like, a tiny little camera in the helmet or something, which would kind of help.
Yeah, that would be tough. I mean, they have cameras all over the place. They've got the one flying over the field. They've got every different angle. We all know it was a first down. Ref always bailed the Chiefs out against the Bills. Rigged. So I think this was one of the biggest plays last week.
Oh, yeah, that was right. Holding much?
Yeah, that's pretty blatant. Ref standing right there. The ref was blind.
Or he just didn't care.
The ref's out there like, first down.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Oh, then there's the Chiefs post for the third year in a row.
Yeah.
America is not happy.
Yeah. Congratulations. You have created the most unwatchable Super Bowl in history. Rigged. What do you think? Are people... I think people are still going to tune in.
I mean, we probably will.
Apparently, there's a lot of Lions fans that didn't even watch the Commanders game this week. They couldn't bring themselves to it.
I mean, yeah, we watched it, but like, I didn't care to watch it. Kind of like I didn't feel the need to watch it.
But do you think like we've been pretty invested this season, especially as Lions fans? I mean, the hype behind the team, the attendance at the games has been ridiculous. Some of the most viewed games in history. I mean, everybody's been watching. Everybody's been thinking about the Super Bowl. I still think people are going to watch it. I mean, we are, but
they've been looking for the Super Bowl since the 90s. It's forever, pretty much. Ever since the curse of Bobby Lane happened.
So do you think Lions fans are going to tune in or tune out this week or next week to the Super Bowl?
I mean, we'll personally watch it because of this podcast, but we would probably watch it anyways. because like I want to see what really goes on, kind of, but I don't feel the need to kind of watch it.
Yeah.
Like I don't really want to watch it. It's like, oh, Super Bowl, we gotta watch.
Right.
The
Well,
most
let's
exciting thing is probably ripping packs.
true. All right. Well, let's move on here. We talked about the NFL being rigged. Our next topic, big news for the Detroit Lions.
Their new coaching. Well, because Ben Johnson has become the head coach of the Chicago Bears. He's getting paid like $13 million a season, which is more than Saquon Barkley is. More
Oof.
than the best running back in the league, arguably,
Yeah, that's crazy.
to be a coach. For not even decent team, really. They're just like not even that good.
Yeah, the one thing I'd seen him and Aaron Glenn both have made kind of Dan Campbell statements. I forget, like we were built for this, type of comments.
Yeah, built to coach the 4-13 Chicago Bears.
Yeah, so Ben Johnson going to the Bears, Aaron Glenn, where's he going?
The Jets.
Yeah, I mean, we wish those guys well. It'll be interesting to see. I always question, can these coaches? I mean, they looked really good. I give Dan Campbell most of the credit. Will they be able to be successful at these other teams? It's kind of up in the air right now.
Because they don't have somebody to lead on, kind of. Like, they don't, like... Dan Campbell's, like, one of the best head coaches in the league. And, like, I feel like Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn lead on him, kind of. Like, especially, like... I feel like Ben Johnson should kind of make the calls on, like, 4th down and, like, have a big say in that. But Aaron Glenn, or Ben Johnson, or Dan Campbell just says go. Which it worked out some of the time, but
Yeah, Dan Campbell's it's a lot of personality, right? And so Dan Campbell has this bigger than life personality. We're gonna remove that from the screen, get that out of there. This huge personality coming into Lions. Guys love him. They want to play for him. The coaches want to coach for him. Everybody wants to win. They're all on the same page.
yeah.
I don't personally, Ben Johnson, I don't know if I get that same like feeling or vibe. I'm not
No,
saying he's going to be a bad coach, but you got to have that type of leadership. I don't know if he's going to bring it.
I never heard him yelling at the games during the games. So,
Yeah.
but Aaron Glenn, I think he'll be a really good head coach because like the defense, they had nobody this season. They had absolutely nobody all season, and he was still we still only lost one game, like or 2 games if you count the divisional round. We only really lost 2 games without our defense.
Yeah.
Because our first loss was against Tampa Bay, and that was just a bad game.
I'm just checking to see if anything on Facebook. Facebook is running a little weird, I think, tonight. Yeah, I agree. I think Aaron Glenn, I think he'll be good. What else are we talking about? So they're gone. Who are the new coaches? Is it 100% yet that we have a new offensive coordinator? I'm going to pull this up, share the screen here again. Let's get this up here. There we go.
It is not certain, but most likely, probably, John Morton will become the offensive coordinator.
See,
I
yeah,
don't think he signed a contract or anything yet.
yeah, this was from yesterday. I don't know if there was Adam Schefter on Twitter posted yesterday. And there wasn't anything today. So this is yesterday. What did he say there?
Lions are working to hire Broncos pass game coordinator Johnny Morton as their offensive coordinator and the coach to replace Ben Johnson per sources. He is traveling to Detroit to meet with the team. Morton worked in Detroit before and could soon be doing it again.
Yeah, to me, everything I've read and heard, it sounds like this is kind of a done deal.
Yeah.
This is per 97.1, the ticket they posted. Again, reportedly hiring superstar John Morton. Um, oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, this will be interesting. John Morton has a great history as well, and I don't know. We got to dive into it maybe a little bit more, but he's a superstar, Dan Campbell said. And there's a number of things that he did for us last year that we've kept. I really feel like that helped Tanner as well. He took a lot of that. He learned from that, and he's grown from that. So he's in a good spot. He's an asset for us. So that was, I believe, last year. Dan Campbell said that. So yeah, that's exciting news. If that's true, if that's what happens. Let me look here. Oh yeah, this was posted today actually on the NFL's website.
Lions hiring Broncos passing game assistant John Morton as new offensive coordinator. So it's a done deal, I think.
Yeah, I mean that to me sounds official. Ben
Yeah.
Johnson's replacement has been found.
Yeah, it's official.
So what are your thoughts? You excited about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really heard of the guy, but I mean, like a lot of coaches, you probably don't like know their names, like kind of, but even because of that, he can still be good. And I'm not saying
When I first heard Johnny Morton, this is who I thought about. Which I think most people thought about as well.
incorrect. But anyways, moving on to defensive coordinator, we have Kelvin Shepard. So,
Yeah, I think you wrote a few things down about him.
so Kelvin Shepard was one of Dan Campbell's very first hires when he became the head coach. Shepard played on the Dolphins in 2015 when Dan Campbell was the tight end coach and eventually became interim head coach. Shepard spent the last year his last season as a player on the Lions. Kelvin Shepard also had the idea to draft Jack Campbell, Eric Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, and help Alex Anzalone take his game to the next level.
Yeah, I think that's a good move to move him up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be a good offensive coordinator because he worked on the side of Aaron Glenn and was I believe, a really good linebacker coach because he was the one that coached Alex Anzalone, and he is really good, and he's kind of a stud.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up this story here. I thought was kind of cool. I
Yeah,
saw.
no, that is Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Let's share this back to the screen here. Lions, Calvin Shepard keeps his hair and keeps his faith to be himself as coach. This is from a couple of years ago. Well known for his awesome dreadlocks there. Trying to see. There was a quote. So, yeah, this is where Campbell hired Shepard as an assistant coach at Detroit. It says, I went through it, and he's like, thinking about cutting your what? What? What are you, crazy? First of all, I love your hair, Shepard said. He's like, but seriously, Shep, if I'm hiring you, if anybody's hiring you, they're hiring you because of you. You got those jobs because of who you are, not because of somebody you're trying to become. And that resonated with me. So just kind of about Shep cutting his hair to try to earn the job. And Dan Campbell's like, no, you're keeping the hair. Like Samson. you got to keep the hair, right?
Yeah.
You cut the hair,
And then he died.
and then he died. Not without going down without a fight, but
Yeah.
you know, there's something to be said about that hair with Kelvin. So glad to see the Lions got 2 coaches in the right positions. That was a big shake up there at the end of the season. Again, like we talked about last week, arguably one of the factors of why they might have lost, some bad play calling, bad decisions,
Because of their coaching.
missed timeouts, and too many men on the field.
But that's behind us now. Or is it?
It's behind us. We are moving forward, right?
Yeah. And it's going to be a whole new season next year, and we can look forward to that. But also, during the trade of Aaron Glenn, getting rid of him or getting hired, the Lions got, I think, 2 or 3 third-round draft picks.
Yeah, I didn't really understand how that worked out. I thought he was coaching, he could just leave.
And just quit and then get hired.
Yeah, I don't know why there was a
Trade.
trade. Let's look that up real quick. Draft picks. Yeah, so Aaron Glenn is off to be head coach of the New York Jets. The Lions will get 2 draft picks as a thank you for his work.
Thank you.
Yeah, here you go. Why Lions receive, I'm going to share this again. Why Lions receive 2 extra draft picks for Jets hiring of Aaron Glenn. So it's a
Jets need it more than
2020
us.
2020 amendment to the NFL's collective bargaining agreement as it relates to the Rooney Rule. The Lions get 3rd-round draft picks in the 25 and 26 drafts under the rule that stipulates if a team lost a minority executive or coach to another team, that team receives compensatory
Picks. Well, we're not complaining.
So it's a minority thing is what it boils down to because he's a minority.
I'm not complaining.
No.
Honestly, I feel like the Jets need it more than us. But
So when another example here I didn't know about. So when the Lions hired Brad Holmes from the Rams, the Rams received
21 and 22 picks.
3rd-round draft picks. Interesting.
Wait, when did they hire them? When did they? That was the year.
Must have been 21. And you see that in San Francisco. Same thing. So it's happened a few different times. Yeah, pretty interesting. Did not know that. Interesting rule.
But they should say that more often, kind of.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else? I mean, we're nearing an hour, just over an hour here, a little bit. Most of our shows are going to run about an hour long, as I mentioned, every week, Mondays or Tuesdays, around 7:00, about an hour. We're a little flexible. We have to be. But yeah, it was a good show, a good talk.
Went over some good topics.
Yeah, some good topics. What's our big topic gonna be next week?
We're going to be talking about Super Bowl a bit more, probably. And we're going to be talking about predictions. You should say that in your voice.
Let's do it in the voice.
Super Bowl predictions.
So our Super Bowl predictions next week. Emery asked if I would give a prediction. So I will do that. I don't like doing that, but I will. My buddy Mike, thanks for tuning in, bud. Mel, thank you for tuning in. I did see Nikki on here as well. The Schaefer team was tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry for anybody on Facebook if you're watching that we didn't see any comments. But yeah, exciting stuff coming up, guys. Next episode next week. Again, the Super Bowl. We're going to be coming in live again with some more packs. We will be doing a podcast home for home, they're calling it. So where we're going to be on a different podcast, we're going to have them on our podcast here in the next couple weeks.
So are we gonna do that next week or?
I think this coming week we will be on their podcast and we will share that info out to you guys. We'll have them on ours as well. And we will be finding ways to have guests call in. We're really excited about that as well. I want to see Emery and our buddy Scott debate some things.
Yeah.
Scott is awesome. And anybody else, if you're interested in calling in, let us know if you want to talk sports with Emery.
I don't know if he's ready to debate this.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Emery, sorry, anywhere that we go, he stands around talking sports with adults, having adult conversations. And so he loves it. If you guys are interested, please reach out and we will do that. But yes, please make sure to do what?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Follow and share and everything like
Go
that.
to our Facebook page, the Sports Kid. Follow there. The YouTube channel, Sports Kid Podcast. Follow there, and we will. As soon as we get this rolled out on Spotify, Apple, we're going to be rolling things out. We will share that with you as well. Please subscribe. It definitely helps. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Have a blessed week. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And anything else, is that it?
Pretty much it, I'd say.
All right, let's hit this music again. This is our intro,
Favorite music.
our favorite intro outro song.